Okay, here we go. Today we're changing rear shocks in this old beast. It's a pretty good car. I just noticed a lot of bouncing around the back side of the car. They're not totally shot, but they're not perfect either. The car has 140,000 miles. Get the parts pretty inexpensive. Figured, what the heck, might as well put them in. So got nothing going on today, so here we go. So we got it up on ramps. If pretty simple to get them up on the ramps. If you need help getting them up on ramps, by all means, get somebody to keep an eye on the ramp for you. You don't want to run over the ramp. I've done that before. It's just not good at all. It's not bad on a truck. Usually a truck you can go over the ramp, not a big deal. Car, it gets a little ugly. So anyway, got it up on ramps. Let me get to it here. There's one bolt underneath the car and one bolt in the trunk. Gonna take a panel out, and pretty easy to replace shocks. If you've never done it before, it's not the worst thing in the world. You can do it with regular tools. Just need a little bit of a decent size um, ratchet wrench and some whatever you use to break bolts free. I use this. This seems to work good. I don't know why. It's CRC freeze off. If you ask me, it's all the same stuff. But for some reason, this stuff works. And I'm not saying these bolts on this car are super tough to get off, but sometimes I've had them. They're all seized up, and I don't know. This stuff, I've had this can for a year, and quite honestly, it's almost empty. I'll probably get another can of the crazy stuff, but it seems to work okay. So if you guys use something better, by all means, let me know. I try whatever's on the bargain rack for sure. But I've tried this and it seems to work. So anyway, let me get the car going, and I'll show you how to get rid of these shocks. Okay, we're under the car here. Here's your shock bolt. We got to put our impact wrench on here, but just to show you what's going on, I put the car on jacks or ramps, so I don't think I have to take the wheel off. And what we got on the back side, you can see my handy dandy little mirror here. You can see in the mirror that you can see the bolt there, okay, or the nut in the back side. And the nut has a little tack weld on there, so that nut's going to stay there. So you shouldn't have to get on the back side to hold that nut. We're just going to zip the bolt off from this side. But you do want to get your lube in there. You never want to take these threads out without putting some lube. These things are 5 inches off the ground all the time. They get all kind of crap on them. You want to lubricate them and keep them, some kind of oil or something on them as much as possible. So let me squirt that with my I use this Freeze CRC. I don't know what it is, but it seems to work good. But you don't want to take that thing off without putting something on those threads to keep them cool when you're zipping them out of there. So let me do that and get this bolted. Okay, this one's coming out not too much of a problem, which I usually don't come out too tough. But let's say you are getting in here and this thing is for some reason it's tight, but it's moving a little bit. So what you want to do is you don't want to break the bolt. That's the first thing we don't want to do. But if you loosen a little bit, it only goes a little ways. Just back it off a little bit. Keep that thing lubed with your fluid on the other side, your freeze off or whatever you got, and tighten it up a little bit, okay? What you'll do is when you loosen that bolt and tighten it, you give it a little bit of clearance in there and between the threads, and you're going to get the thing out a lot easier. So if you are taking these things out and this bolt doesn't want to come out, by all means, take your time. As I've said many times in other videos, you break the stupid bolt off, you're going to be there all day. You got a little bit of time now before you break the bolt off to just attempt to loosen it, tighten it, loosen it, tighten it, and it'll start working itself out. And this is any bolt, not just this bolt here. So let me get this thing out of the way. It looks like it's coming out without much of a problem, and we'll get on to the top bolt. So that's your tip for the day. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, we're taking this top shock bolt out here, and that's where these little wrenches come in handy sometimes. These articulate pretty well, plus they're a ratchet type thing. Sometimes you can zip these off with an air tool. Other times you got to hold on to this top stud. So this is one of those other times. It's not going to come out without it. So anyway. Just a little bit more and it'll fall down to the ground. Let me just finish it up. You don't need to see this excitement. Okay, back under the car. Got the old shock out. It fell to the ground. New shock looks like the old shock for the most part. So put the new shock in. It's helping the hole up there. These have gas in them, so they have a little bit of spring pressure associated with it. So anyway, you push it up a little bit, start the bolt into the hole. Not a big deal. One thing I can only say, the only reason I'm showing you this part of it is, you know, when you got the bolt in there, don't be getting all excited with if you do have air tools. Don't be getting all excited with your air tools, because this is when, you know, you got a little bit of spring pressure against that bolt. If you don't have it started straight with the air tool, you could just, you know, put it in there crooked. That's not good at all, and that'll just give you more problems. So you may want to just, you know, this video is sort of for beginners, I think, you know, changing your own shocks. You may want to just, you know, if you have an air tool to take it out, great. But with a regular, you know, ratchet like I got, just ratchet it into place. And if you don't take it the whole way in, no big deal. Then zip it with your air tool. But just make sure this bolt gets started straight. Again, you don't want it crooked. You got a little spring pressure against that shock. It has everything you can do to make it start crooked. So just don't ruin your whole day by messing that, putting that bolt back in there. So let me just show you me tightening up the top bolt. Should be pretty simple. And another fun job, huh? Okay. Okay, so I got the shock in. Not a big deal. The Ford came with you know, a plate up top and something different in the bottom. This Monroe came with a couple bumpers, so I'll use those. I don't think it really matters one way or the other. So, but you do have a rubber bumper. It's not going to bolt down solid, so you sort of just got to snug it up. You know, because again, you got a rubber piece up top and one underneath this firewall here. So tighten it up, and for some reason I don't have to hold the shaft from turning with a small wrench. So, and we should be good to go. So there you go. It's pretty simple. If you need to replace a shock for whatever reason, get in there, you know, put it on jack stands. Not a big job. Should take you, you know, maybe an hour and a half max for both sides total. So, and again, it's something you got to do once in a while. Just make the best of it and take a nice day and do it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.